Hi, welcome back to Chess Tricky. Today we're going to look at a very wild attack to crush the Italian game opening. This is something that is rarely known by most chess players. Alright, let's get straight into the game with e4, e5, and after knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4, the Italian game. There are two popular moves for black here, bishop c4 and knight f6. But I think this is too common. Let's play a move that will make your opponent think a bit, pawn h6. Does anyone know the purpose of this pawn? Yes, it may look like a passive move, but don't worry, my friends. This is a very effective move to stop the knight from jumping to
g5,
and also to prevent the bishop from ever maneuvering to
g5
in the future. Here, there are two popular moves for white according to the Lichess database, but we're going to focus on the strongest one, pawn d4. Clearly, this pawn is attacking e5 twice. Let's play a tricky gambit-style move, pawn d6. It looks like it's just defending the pawn, but if pawn takes pawn, don't recapture because that will lead to a very bad position for your future. Queen takes queen. After the king captures the queen, your f-pawn is gone. Or even if the knight captures instead, knight will gain your central pawn. So take a moment and relax. Let's continue development. Here, your light-squared bishop is pinning the knight, and this can be followed by knight takes e5, attacking the pinned knight. Are you worried about something? Don't worry, bro. If there's a tactical shot, like bishop takes f7, just capture with the king, because then the knight can't jump to g4 anymore. We can capture with the queen, while also protecting your bishop from the black queen's attack. So here you gain two minor pieces. Let's go back. So usually the pawn will capture, avoiding the knight's attack. Then bishop takes d6, and after white castles kingside, we are preparing to castle long, while also the queen keeps an eye on f7 in case of bishop takes f7. And after the standard moves, just continue with long castling. Indeed, the position looks normal and perfectly fine, but in reality, white often makes an unnoticed mistake here. It could be a natural developing move with the bishop, or repositioning the rook to a more open and comfortable square, or even pushing a pawn to attack the bishop. But no matter what, your move remains the same. Check. If the knight captures the bishop, we capture the queen. And even if the king captures the bishop, we eliminate the queen with the rook. So I think in this position, you can continue the game with confidence and a dominant position. White has lost the queen, and just look at your position. Your queen is ready to capture the bishop, while the pawn is also under threat. As a result, the white king will be under heavy attack. So, enjoy the game you win! Let's go back. Here, the threat is a discovered attack. Bishop takes h2. What if white continues by having the knight jump, cutting the rook's vertical, while also attacking the queen again? Now, the knight no longer controls e4, so we capture with the queen, attacking the knight on f3 twice, and also threatening the light-squared bishop. So, naturally, the bishop will defend the knight to avoiding the double pawn on f3. What do you think you should do in a position like this? Please pause the video. If you found this move, congratulations! You are on the level of Mikhail Tal. You're a genius. This is a bishop sacrifice. If the knight takes on h2, you capture the bishop, attacking both the queen and the rook. Or, if the king takes your bishop, you capture the knight and attack the queen. Yes, the bishop can cover while developing. You jump the knight, creating a triple threat on the knight on f3. This puts a lot of pressure on white. And if the knight captures the knight, this is the biggest blunder. You capture the bishop, attacking the queen and the rook, and the knight is still under threat as well.
So, whatever your opponent does here, you're guaranteed to win. Or let's take an example move. The queen releases the pin.
You just capture the knight, of course. It's a check as well, attacking the queen. And if the bishop captures back, we just capture with the bishop. If the queen takes the queen, you recapture with the bishop. Look, we are up by one knight, meaning you have a winning position. Or, if the pawn captures the bishop, it's even worse. We continue with a check, and if the king moves to g1 or g2, it's a two-move checkmate. After the queen steps back, the bishop closes in for checkmate, and we capture the bishop, delivering checkmate. And the same thing happens if the king moves up to g3. It's still a two-move checkmate. The pattern remains the same. Dart, dart, door. And do you know, Vladimir Kramnik, a strong player, also couldn't handle an opening like this from black. Alright, let's go back. Earlier, the bishop captured the knight. Or, what if the pawn captures the knight instead? Let's see how that changes the position. After the rook to h5, it's a check. If the king moves to g2, the bishop to h3 is also a check, and it attacks the rook. Not good. And what if the king returns back home? Here, there's no escape. After queen to h2 mate, the pawn has to block, and we capture the bishop freely. Here, you are clearly winning. Or after the queen takes, the queen we recapture with the bishop, attacking the rook. And after the rook tries to escape, counterattack the bishop, we continue with bishop f3, threatening mate in 1. And whatever white does next, without exception, for example, a rook check, you attack the rook, and after any move, just continue with rook h1. Game over. Let's go back. Here, white previously responded with knight c5, cutting the rook's file. What if the queen moves, while still keeping an eye on the knight? You can jump the knight, attacking the queen, and the pinned king's knight. If the queen moves up, there's a threat of knight to c2, forking the pieces. And this is white's best option. Before queen to e3, what if it goes back to its original square? We capture the knight with check. After g takes f3, continue with queen to h4, threatening mate in 1. To avoid checkmate, the pawn must be pushed. Then you capture the white queen. Here, white collapses. Let's go back. So the best move, queen e3. Next, bishop takes f3. If the queen captures the knight, then bishop takes h2 check, followed by rook capturing the queen. So after g takes f3, continue with queen to g5 check. If the king moves, shift the queen. Here, there's a mate in 1 threat, and the knight is ready to jump to c2, threatening a fork. Or if the queen captures the queen, continue with pawn takes. The knight is ready to capture on f3 and still threatens c2. At this point, you're already winning positionally, so feel free to play normally. Or, I have a puzzle. Let's take an example where the king is protecting f3. Try to find a two-move checkmate. Thank you. Alright, Chess Tricky, that's it for today's video. An easy way to play against the Italian game. I hope you all enjoyed it and that you had fun with the video. If you like these kinds of trap videos, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell so you always get the latest updates from Chess Tricky. Best wishes, stay successful, take care, that's all, and thank you. See you next time.